You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stan C, Romaran, and Emil Nate on the last live stream before Christmas. Actually, parang last live stream of the year na rin ata to given how busy everyone's getting.
I don't even remember what our holiday schedule is.
Dude, I pinned it sa GC.
Yeah.
I took care of it. As someone with the OC bug, I had to write it all down and pin it.
Hindi natin na-promote na last live stream na natin today for the year.
Okay lang yan. Marami namang ibang bagay na hindi pinopromote, nag-get over pa rin.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I don't know what that was a reference to, but okay.
no, it's not a reference to anything. I just wanted to use like wrestling terms and shit. But anyway, sabi nga ni Emil kanina, we are a week away from Christmas. So, para sa mga naka-Christmas break na dyan, good for you guys.
Yay!
Good for you guys. And for those of us who are still not on Christmas break, good luck sa atin bukas. Lalo na yung mga kailangang pumunta o bumiyahe paalis ng Makati bukas. Because apparently the MMFF parade is happening tomorrow in Makati of all places.
Oh my God.
On the Friday before Christmas of all places. Oh, of all times, rather. So good luck. Good luck to everybody. Myself included, kasi may racket ako bukas. So, yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun pa rin naman, I hope. I hope that you guys are enjoying your Christmas parties. Sana manalo kayo sa mga raffle tulad ni Anbin Jackie who took home 25K.
Wow, pumaldo.
Oh, paldo si Admin Jackie.
Oh.
Ikaw ba, Ro? Pumaldo ka ba?
No, she took all my luck, man. I was hoping for at least the phone that I wanted, but no. Wala.
Si Emil Nate, di na natin tatanungin because he actually does not have a Christmas party to attend this year, which makes us all really, really sad.
Yun yung trade-off ng pag sumusweldo ng dollars. Wala kang Christmas party kasi hindi pa pala Christmas party yung mga US based companies.
Oh, walang sayaw-sayaw din eh, walang performance. Kaya wala ring Christmas party raffle para kay Emil Nate.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah. All right, we got a lot to talk about based on everything that happened over the last few days, basically since we did Weekend Reacts for Saturday night's main event. But before we do that, if you like yung mga pinag-uusapan natin dito, kung gusto nyo yun, na-enjoy nyo, please hit the subscribe button. Follow nyo yan para di lang si Tio Bra yung lumalabas sa mga feed nyo, whether it's on Spotify or on YouTube. You can also sponsor the show. It goes a long way, promise. Yung sponsorships natin. Pasweldo yan ni babyface producer Jasper, who actually made an effort to get home in time for the live stream.
Oh, if you guys like watching the live stream on Thursdays and on Mondays, it is because Jasper is able to make it home.
Mm-hmm.
Because he, out of the excitement of his wrestling fandom, he wants to help you. Get your weekly dose of your wrestling talk
and process it, diba?
Yeah,
all together.
Through us. Kaya talagang nakikipagsapala rin sa Jasper every Monday and Thursday.
Lahat ng mga apps sinatry niya dahil dyan, Jasper.
You the real MVP.
Yes.
Did we get a new soundboard?
No, man. I've just been using all the other sounds that I've had over the years.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Tagal ko lang di ginagamit. But yeah, para yun sa'yo, babyface producer Jasper. Some of those sounds are actually from my radio days from like a decade ago. So,
wow.
Yeah. So yun, hello.wrestlingpodcast@gmail.com for the sponsorships, aka pambayad para kay babyface producer Jasper. Kahit pang reimburse nung angkas niya or ng move it niya, di ba? Or whatever app he gets on.
Di nakikiambag eh.
Pumapaldo na raw kasi siya ng USD pag bigyan na natin.
Kaya dapat umambag siya.
To whom much is given, much is expected.
Oh.
Tama mo, Emil, ginamita pa kita ng Christian axiom. Alright, let's get to some wrestling talk. Next week na natin plug si Converge and Netflix. Let's get to some wrestling talk and start with AEW. So Dynamite happened a few hours ago. They had a 3-hour bonanza. Dynamite and Collision. And some of the highlights include the return of the Devil, MJF. He is back. And he has executed his championship match. So makikisali siya dun sa existing 3-way match na gaganapin sa World's End. It is now a 4-way match or a 4 corners match if you want to call it that. So it's MJF, Swerve, Hangman, and Joe all fighting for the World Championship. So first off, what did you guys think of the way that MJF justified everything. Na, okay, I'm back. I'm gonna use what I won ng Casino Gauntlet. Boom. Matic championship match.
Ang naisip
Go
ko,
ahead. Go ahead.
when I first heard the headline, no, na MJF came back and inserted himself in a four-way, parang naisip ko, out of character to for MJF eh. Kasi he's a heel who parang he likes to shortcut his way.
Yeah, he addresses that.
Oh, yun nga. Yun yung kagandahan. I watched the promo and he justified why he's in the match and why he has an agenda on all three men. So, ang ganda. Ang naitahi nila yon ng maigi. So, I didn't expect this na babalik siya to insert himself in this match, but I'm kind of glad they went that route kasi Fatal 4-ways are always fun. And it adds more layers to the ongoing world title storyline. So I like it. I dig it.
Okay, I did not like it. I normally enjoy the way they try to tell the stories, but I felt like Tony Khan had a gun to his head, like by MJF. I don't know. It felt that way. It felt that way. I normally haven't disliked a creative decision by AEW lately, but I feel like this was a super strange move. Even though I will give props to the way MJF basically had to take the segment overtime because he had to explain everything, every reason. He had a reason for all three guys, all three other guys in the match, and I appreciated that because if you are inserting MJF this late in the game, although you have like a week left before the PPV, you do have to work a little harder to justify his appearance, his inclusion. But I don't like it because, one, it made the segment really long, and it really was much longer even already after the really great promos by both Swerve and Hangman. Okay na yun eh. Like, had it stopped there, had it stopped with Shivani, cutting the segment as he was supposed to, chef's kiss. We could all go home and celebrate Christmas happy. But no, it wasn't like that. It made the segment long, and then adding MJF to the title match either gives away the result of the title match and then leaves all three guys to fight each other without the championship after the PPV, or you waste MJF's contractually guaranteed title match just to get him out of the way. Para you continue to focus on the three guys telling their story, which is a really, really good story, by the way, because it is a really, like, I don't think I've seen a good three-way story since since WrestleMania 20, although I could be wrong. I'm sure there is something else that has happened.
37.
Tina, the women.
Yeah.
Roman, Bryan, and
Bryan,
Edge.
Edge, and Roman.
Right. I know. I don't recall the recent stuff as much because it's not my formative years. But still, it felt like somebody needed to get MJF out of the way, either as a champion to win, or either as to eliminate his piece from the board. Because it still is a piece, even though we didn't know it was hanging over everyone's heads.
Nakalimutan nga natin di ba?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the shock factor that they leveraged, which is totally fine. Okay lang. It's just that why here, why now, even though they explained it. It still very much is why here, why now. And if you are a fan watching from the stands, like Emil, okay lang, okay. I would dare say that MJF did his job of advancing the story as a story guy. But to me, as an industry guy, I don't like the way it appeared to be hastily executed.
Mm-hmm. What if yung behind the scenes na dahilan pala is because 'di ba si MJF busy siya sa acting schedule niya, 'di ba? So
Sure.
what if it's because they did have to get rid of that mulligan being
Why?
the contract?
Kailan
Aga pa naman
niya? Kailan ba yung validity niya? Kailan ba
Yeah.
niya expire?
1 year, 'di ba? 1 year from
Yeah.
the
He won
previous
it.
Casino Gauntlet.
Yeah.
When did he win it? When did he win
Nung
the
last
match?
All In,
Matagal pa. Like,
Texas.
Yeah, still like 10 months or 9 months away. Tama may point na zero na parang may element to na rush yung just to get the contract trope out of the way. I find myself agreeing with Ron that one.
Mm-hmm. So,
Wow.
biglang ligo si Emil.
Tama naman. Yeah. He has a point on that one.
You don't
Nakakumbinsi
have
ka
to.
mid-podcast. Yeah, you don't have to naman.
Yeah, you don't have to say. Again, I said
you
it's
explained it
okay
well.
because he explained it well. I mean, he explained it. MJF explained it well. Like,
This is sabi ni Emil, you explain it well too.
yeah, I know, but damn, man.
I didn't see
Hindi
it
ka
that
ba-
way. Yeah.
I will only accept your acquiescence through US dollars.
Okay, let's get into the explanations. So, you want to break it down, Ro?
Yeah, sure. Because I had to transcribe kind of. So first, sige, Joe is a champion, so he has the backup, so he doesn't have to waste anyone's time. So Swerve is also pretty straightforward. So Swerve says that he came back to chase after the championship. It could have been Hangman, but it had to be Joe, and must make beef show with Joe now because he and Hangman formed a mutual respect with one another after their battles. About Hangman naman says that he's as the main character, he's befuddled because everyone in the ring prior to MJF appearing fought with him against John Moxley and the Death Riders, and then all of a sudden biglang titiklo pala si Joe to his insecurities kasi he couldn't beat Hangman one-on-one. So therefore, in Hangman's eyes, Joe is worse than the Death Riders because at least the Death Riders were kind of honorable in their villainy, while Joe had to kind of be a coward and taint the twilight years of his career with this heel turn. So okay sana kay Hangman, but yun nga, it's a battle that he has to fight, and it just sucks that he was the one who figured out that they had to band together against the Death Riders, and he was the one who won the championship because of that. And MJF comes in, and then Hangman is yung pinaka-target ni MJF. Like he is the arch nemesis. They're the arch nemesis of each other. So as Emil aforementioned earlier, he explains why he goes after all four of them, or all three of them rather, by saying that Hangman is right in saying that, MJF is kind of a bitch for, always taking the easy way out. So he wants to do it and prove to the fans, which is a really good point. I like this point from Hangman. Now, from MJF, now, even though the MJF doesn't respect the fans' opinions, they still dictate sino yung mga all-time greats in the sport. So the MJF decides that he needs the fans to proclaim him as one of the best in the business. So he has to do the GOAT things, diba? The Michael Jordan, LeBron James things of going through the tons of adversity to chase glory. Then he goes through Swerve Strickland, who he says has a history with him dating back to the Indies. He calls Swerve Shane his real name, and he details Swerve's lore to this point where he went to WWE, actually mentions WWE, and then actually capes for WWE to the boos of the crowd. And then he says that Swerve goes to AEW and accomplishes everything that he couldn't accomplish in WWE, and even though it is Swerve's house, the devils come to collect, and that's why he has to take out Swerve. Then MJF has business with Joe because Joe ended MJF's title reign a couple of years ago at World's End 2023. Tapos he has to do the same to Joe in the same PPV, in the same town, in the same arena. That's pretty much it. It is very detailed. It is very, very comprehensive. He makes sure that he has to get all his shit in the promo. So he is the oral version of a spot monkey. And I appreciate that, but again, it did run too long.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Emil, what do you make of all the explanations? Like how MJF basically had that one promo segment to flesh everything out.
Oh my.
Yun nga eh.
Speedrun ang puta.
Exactly, it was a speed run. But at the same time, like I said kanina, na-elaborate niya ng maigi as to why he has an agenda on all the guys. And that's why I find myself, okay, I don't mind MJF inserting himself in this match. Kasi, ano yun, explain niya. Kasi usually, I would say, this is out of character from him. But I guess this is the way para hindi maisip ng mga tao na very out of character yung ginawa ng MJF. So, I'm pretty much okay with all the explanations kahit na sobrang haba ng segment na yun.
Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to highlight dito sa four-way, or do you want to move on?
Interesting that they took like 25 minutes to do, the entire segment. Like this is a classic gripe ng AEW fans against WWE promo segments, where especially the Bloodline stuff. But again, the Bloodline stuff is pretty fun when they actually hit their beats, and they did hit their beats in one here. It's just that MJF did what MJF does, which is to hog the spotlight, drop his zingers as usual. It's fun, but it's a lot more fun when you're new to this. And even though MJF had been gone for a while, like I found myself still, still kind of bored with all this because I've heard this MJF before. Like even the WWE mentioned, I've heard that before. He's mentioned that before. And the only interesting thing that he said that was new was the whole, the fans have to proclaim me as an all-time great. I like that part, but everything else, I didn't need that. I guess. I mean, it helped, but I there must have been a way that it could have been shorter and more succinct.
3 hours naman daw kasi yung show. Kaya okay lang
Yeah,
na
I
ba?
guess. Yeah, I guess.
The show was 3 hours, di ba? So,
Wala namang Goldberg.
oh.
Also on Dynamite, the Elite reunited and they won $1 million or the equivalent of 750,000 British pounds. So they won that from the Don Callis family, pero parang hindi pa rin tapos because after the match, the Don Callis family attacked the Elite, and then we also saw even more development sa relationship ni Takeshita and Okada.
It wasn't a development. They were just rehashing. They were just going back to their bickering.
Yeah.
And then before it could blow over, Kenny came back in with his broom. So there are two things actually that are running long here, which is the Don Callis family and the Elite story, which has had to culminate over and over, pero hindi pa rin nakakulminate for whatever reason. I guess they're waiting for World's End. And, Takeshita and Okada still not, I don't know, wala pa sa kanya tumitiwalag, diba? Like, what is the end point here? Is Takeshita supposed to leave the Don Callis family? Are they supposed to just beat each other up while not leaving the group? Like somebody, I feel like Okada should be kicking Takeshita out kasi. Pero gets ko naman yung role ni Don Callis because he did discover quote unquote Takeshita, and he doesn't want to let him go if he doesn't want to leave, right? But I feel like it's been dragging on for too long without any real forward motion. That I want something to happen, and it's not happening. Sorry, Emil, go ahead.
No. I already complained about this last week. Yung Don Callis and Kenny Omega thing. And I said there's no
Japanese
insight.
guys, the Japanese guys
din.
saga is worse, yeah.
Ganun din eh. Like, I feel like they're waiting for that ball to drop after Wrestle Kingdom. Kasi they're still scheduled to have their own programs and feuds there. So, siguro gagawin nila yun afterwards. But again, yun nga, tama ka. They've been bickering for like what? 5 months, 6 months now? So,
Hindi naman 6 months. That's
like less than, mga 5 months, 4 months. So, naturally, syempre, if you have two guys on your same team bickering, either you resolved it or you kick someone out. Naturally, that should be the natural progression of things. And they're not getting there yet, which is so watching their program kind of feels pointless kasi wala eh. Like walang progression eh. Like ano ba yung what am I waiting for this one? Like which is the same complaint I had with last week with the Don Callis and Kenny Omega.
Yeah, ang sa akin lang is TK doesn't seem to understand that if you're gonna do a whole tension thing, you do have to portray them appearing to make up first before you proceed with more tension, diba? Like Okada obviously clearly wants to be a sports entertainer. He wants to act. He wants to do a little comedy stuff, diba? So why couldn't they be shown attending therapy like Team Hell No? Diba?
Yes.
Diba? Like, that would have been. I think that would have been hilarious. I know that AEW is a wrestling program, but I don't see why you can't do a comedy drama vignette in the middle of in between Takeshita and Okada's Continental Classic matches.
Mm-hmm. Right. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, let's get some highlights from Raw and SmackDown naman. And I know as we're recording this, we haven't seen SmackDown yet, but there was one thing involving the SmackDown brand that's already out on social media. So yun yung pag-uusapan natin. But first, we gotta give you an Emil Nate dance break.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb, and you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
Now that you've enjoyed that Emil Nate dance break, sabihin muna natin that we're actually serving some play and Nathan tonight.
Yes.
Here on the stream. Yun na, ready na si Emil, ready na yung losartan niya. So, we'll get to that when we get to that. Let's also say hi to Mon over on YouTube.
Hey,
Good morning,
what's up,
Mon.
Moonlock, what up, man? Say hello all the way to Canada.
Yan.
Thanks for joining us. Si Julian AI nandyan din.
Hey, what's up, Julian?
Oh, nagsisimbang gabi daw si Julian AI. Yeah, I'm not surprised na churches and AI go well together. Yeah, makes sense. All right, let's get some highlights from Raw, starting at the end with the reveal that Austin Theory is the Masked Man. So he's sporting a new look. It is very much Randy Orton / Kyle Fletcher / Justin Timberlake coded, however you want to call it.
Tatawa ko. I think, Ro, di ba, I think our page posted it, or you posted it, yung mukha niya with the...
He does look like JT,
cover.
yeah.
Yeah, Future Sex Love Sounds, 06.
Yeah. Tawa ko dun. Yeah. I mean, we kind of expected this. Siya naman pinipidik naman talaga ng mga tao as the guy behind the mask. I know I said something about the theory of it being multiple people, but they got to the reveal na eh. So parang di naman sa minadali, but I kind of felt like they could have stretched it a little bit longer, the reveal. But I was surprised that they did it nung Raw. Like I thought it was gonna be revealed on the Netflix anniversary show, but I guess ito na eh. They already revealed the guy as Austin Theory. So, but the question now is he with the Vision? Is he on his own? So ano ba siya at this point?
Well, that's what the story is supposed to tell you in the coming weeks. About. A lot of people are complaining about this. They say, like, why is it Austin Theory? Like, why now? Why here? I mean, let the story unfold first before you complain about it. I think, again, I saw this take that said that, bakit hindi si Dean Ambrose, bakit hindi si Chris Jericho? Like, again, if you are listening to this, if you're watching to this and you're thinking, why wasn't it either of those AEW guys as of this writing? First of all, why would John Moxley leave the Continental Classic to do
in the middle of it?
Yeah, diba? Pero wag tayong tanga, please. Wag tayong tanga. Speculate all you want, but let's be fucking smart about the speculations for once, right? Like, Jesus Christ. As to Austin Theory, whatever you want to make of him, it is a story designed for him to, try and get over it. Might just even be his last chance. Like, he's not terrible, but syempre, he needs something to chew off of. Diba? And I also don't see who else it could be in this role at this point. Diba? Like, obviously, you need a young guy to help the Vision, who is also a bunch of young guys who need to get over. So I don't see anyone else. I don't know who else it could be.
Mm. Yeah, it should be fun. Just so, para makita rin natin ano ba yung connection, di ba? Na, like, is Austin Theory acting on his own? Is he really in cahoots with the Vision? Kasi, di ba, all throughout the show, Paul Heyman was denying. For weeks, he'd been denying na he had any involvement with the Masked Man. So, very cryptic yung pagtingin nila sa isa't isa, di ba? We still don't really know what to make of it. So, as Ro said, we just have to wait for it to play out. All right, let's get to Gunther, who drew so much heat. You could feel the hatred, the vitriol from the crowd the moment that his music played. It was very much like the type of heat Dirty Dom used to get. Diba? Na hindi siya pagsasalitain ng crowd. Pero yun parang in good spirits eh. Parang ginagago nila si Dom. Ito parang ramdam mo talaga na galit yung mga tao kay Gunther. And I guess for good reason, because he made John Cena tap, and not only that, he's reveling in it.
Yeah, if you listen to our episode, which dropped yesterday, if you listen to this before this live stream, I said in there that baka nga it should have been a good idea to have Cena win, but then
this happened.
We go back to the original point of why Cena did what he did. It was because, syempre, he wanted to leave Gunther as a stronger force than before. Like whether you like him as a wrestler or you absolutely hate him for having the gall to pin or to submit to beat John Cena in this final match, you are feeling some type of way. And I've seen a lot of people who were initially apprehensive about the result finally come around and realize, okay, Cena was right, Triple H was right. But syempre, it's not everyone because there are still a lot of people who are processing or are unable to process their feelings over Cena retiring and Cena losing and Cena not ending the show, his career, with a smile in his face. Kaya they're taking it out on Gunther and the company, right? So I don't know if we should still have that. Like I don't know if everyone should be smart. I don't know if everyone should be marks. But I don't know. Maybe because I'm also looking at it through the lens of someone who also has to think about these things about whether or not pissing off the crowd is the right decision. So I feel like I'm also glad that a lot of people are coming around, or I'm also glad that people have chosen to boo the hell out of Gunther. Whether they feel it or not, whether they're doing it, to play with the story, to play along with the story, or because they really feel like they hate this guy. It was a jackpot for him. He hit the jackpot.
Paldo.
Oh, pumaldo siya.
Oh, kaya in the end, my initial stance was reinforced about the artist. More often than not, knows better than the viewers and the audience.
At least in wrestling.
Yeah, marami rin. I mean, I throughout all forms of art.
Well, not the creators of How I Met Your Mother. Hey!
This reminded me of that. Remember when after WrestleMania 33, they opened the Raw episode the next day. Si Roman yung lumabas.
Yeah, ito yung tanong ni Doc G. How do you compare it to Roman Reigns post-Undertaker match?
It's the same. It's the same, di ba?
Is it though?
No, wait, no, it's not Emil, Nate.
I don't know, kasi
Roman Reigns was
face.
Roman was not intended to be a heel in that moment.
Yun, tama, yeah. Tama. Yun nga eh. Yun yung weird dun eh. Na, at that point in time, like, I thought that was the moment that they should have turned him heel, but they didn't. They still went for 3 years with that experiment. That should have been it eh. That should have been the point. Pero dito, I mean, Gunther was a heel, so he was supposed to be hated, and he was hated. So good for him.
Yeah, I guess yung only similarities between Roman post 37, tama ba 30? No, 33.
33. Yeah.
Yeah. Roman no WrestleMania 33 and Gunther this week are at yung positioning. The only thing being the same na they really just had that one line, then mic drop.
Yeah.
Diba? Roman said, this is my yard now, or I'm the big dog now. Parang ganon. And then Gunther said, I made Cena tap like a little bitch.
It was a great line. It's a great line.
Yeah.
Doon ko na feel na, okay, there was this old interview of Walter who said that he didn't care about WrestleMania, didn't care about WWE. I think this was the moment where it all finally turned around for him. Now, okay, he is comfortable being a sports entertainer, despite being billed as a professional wrestler, and despite his wild pedigree as an independent wrestler, and a wrestler up before the main roster.
Yeah. Sabi ni Angelo in the comments, Gunther deserves to win the next Royal Rumble.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, at this point.
I don't see why not.
They should capitalize on this one. I agree.
All right. Emil, do you want to get to play Nathan? I think it's time since we're talking about Gunther. Who are you playing Nathan on this week, Emil, Nate?
Last play Nathan of the year.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, y'all. Merry Christmas, asshole.
The subject of the play Nathan this week is the Raw General Manager, Adam Pearce. Alright, so in the aftermath of the Gunther segment, he went out and the wrestlers, the staff, okay, fine. I get it. I get if they were mad that Gunther was acting like that. But the Raw General Manager, the reason why I am pissed off at him is because You were the one who booked this entire tournament or helped book this entire tournament. You put someone who you know is a threat, and ngayon magagalit ka niya actually did his job, win the tournament, and actually defeat John Cena, and now you're saying you're proud of what you've done? What the fuck? Anong klaseng, ano yun? Anong klaseng treatment yun kay Gunther, di ba? Like,
No.
if
let
I'm in
me correct you a little bit there.
No.
It wasn't because Gunther beat John Cena and retired him. Although that is a pretty silly thing. It was because he was gloating about it and gave him mic time to say that he made John Cena tap out like a little bitch.
He should be gloating. He beat John Cena. He manifested what he was saying. So kung ako yun, magiging proud din ako, di ba? Tapos, babaratin ako ng boss ko for doing my job. What the fuck? What the fuck is up with that? Di ba? Like, it's...
No, it wasn't, the funnier part is it wasn't even because Cena retired because Gunther beat him. Everyone knew that win or lose, this was Cena's last match.
Exactly. Exactly. Diba? Naka-irita coming from your boss. Diba? From your supposed boss. And babarating ka because you're just doing your job of, wrestling and beating your opponent. And now all of a sudden, pinauwi ka because of that. Come on, Adam Pearce.
Isn't this like a technical tour or something? Unsportsmanlike conduct or whatever.
Okay, in a way, but I didn't see anything like there were again going back to this argument from a previous play, Nathan. There are worse things that people has done in that locker room that Adam Pearce didn't do shit about.
Mm-hmm.
But here, all he did was gloat. All he did was basically say, "Oh, I told you so. I'm gonna beat John Cena. I'm gonna make it sound like a little bitch." I don't see anything wrong with that. Aside from him being mayabang, which is just fine. I don't see any issues with that. But Adam Pearce, come on, you're better than that.
Alright, so I'm gonna take credit for this play, Nathan, because I was live reacting to this segment on Raw, the backstage segment, the backstage walk, you didn't walk of shame, but walk of gloating ni Gunther, because everyone was mad at him, which is funny. Like, what is wrong with you all? Like, why are you mad at Gunther for being a heel? Like, you all knew John Cena was retiring. Like, was there an unspoken rule na whoever won the last time is now tournament was supposed to lay down for John Cena?
Hindi, was there an unspoken rule na wag mo pahihiyain si John Cena during the match?
Di lang yun. Yun. Sige, sure. Di lang, so, parang had it been Otis who had been in the finals of the tournament, diba? Who had gotten the match with John Cena. So was he not allowed to? Was he also not allowed to be a dick about it? Like, I'm sure, obviously, as a babyface now, he's not going to be a dick about it. But still, like, let's say, who was it? If it was The Miz, if The Miz won the fucking tournament, would he not be allowed as one of Cena's greatest rivals then? So.
Ito, Emil, may ano pa si Doc G, may dagdag pa siya para pampagalit mo.
What's he saying?
Sabi ni Doc G, for Adam Pearce, Gunther is an a-hole, pero si
Exactly.
Bronson Reed, na nang injure ng tao via tsunami sa kotse, wala
Destroy
lang.
the car.
Exactly. Last week, asan siya? Asan siya last week? When one of your employees got compromised by a co-employee, asan ka?
But he was there. He was there though.
Oh, you should have suspended Bronson Reed right away.
He should have suspended Bronson Reed.
Yeah. Si Gunther pinauwi niya for just gloating eh. So ano ba?
Tapos na raw kasi yung show. Tapos na yung show
Clock
last
out
week.
na raw.
Things aside, that's what makes Adam Pearce a watchable character because of his flaws. Diba? Compared to your typical authority figure na, okay, mag-uutos lang siya ng match.
This is watchable? No, I feel like this is kind of unusual storytelling. Yes, suspend disbelief, but syempre, you do have to work within logic. You have to work within on-screen logic for things to work.
Nakakatawa na nakakainis.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. So thank you, Emil Nate, for raising your blood pressure for us. Wag kang kakain na masarap Wag kang kakain na masarap sa Noche Buena, baka may pumutok.
Magpapalechon ka ba? Wag ka kumain ng lechon.
No, I don't eat lechon. Lechon is overrated. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, I agree with you there.
Mm-hmm. All All right, let's talk about the women. Lara Valkyria had a very unique way of pumping Bailey up backstage this week. Parang pinrovoke niya si Bailey. So
Rage
Ding
bait.
Dong Bailey came out. Oh, ni-rage bait niya, di ba? So Ding Dong Bailey came out and did her thing. And then Lyra was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she just figured out how to bring out the Hulk from Bruce Banner. That's it. It was a nice wrinkle though. I did enjoy the interaction. Pero I feel like medyo nawala sa spotlight yung dual persona ni Bailey, especially after the Lodestone stuff. Like almost totally forgot that Bailey had this character going on.
Wait,
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
explain the lodestone stuff for the unfamiliar?
All right,
For those who are unfamiliar.
so basically, Bailey just ran a 3-day seminar, I believe. I believe it's 3 days for up and coming up and coming women wrestlers from around the world. So Southeast Asia's Malaysia's own Nor Phoenix Diana was part of it, and they got to learn from Bailey's friends who are also currently WWE wrestlers, and John Cena even dropped by. So for the past couple of weeks, yun yung role ni Bailey in the news cycle. So you also kind of forget that she's still doing this weird split personality gimmick.
Actually, ngayon na ako ulit na-remind na they are still running this gimmick eh. Kasi
Exactly,
medyo nawala siya sa spotlight ng onte.
That's what I said.
Uh, so for them to refresh it, like, okay, it seems like they're still running with this. And, this development. Kasi ngayon, kuwang-kuha na nila yung personality ni Bailey eh. Na she knows when to switch on nice Bailey and when to switch on yung, evil Bailey.
It's really literally just you and Rowan. This is literally the two of you.
Actually, oo. Ikaw si Bailey, si Rowan, si Lyra.
God, Rowan.
Pretty much. Yeah, for people who are missing out, yun yung dynamic nila sa Discord.
Oh,
Nag-uululan lang silang dalawa. Yun lang naman. Pag nag-uululan sila, guard may baliw. Alright, let's go to SmackDown. And in advance of SmackDown this weekend, WWE aired a 5-minute vignette featuring Nick Aldis at Drew McIntyre's home, negotiating with him para mapabilis na yung pagbalik ni Drew McIntyre para ma-reinstate siya sa SmackDown. And then, after nila mag-negotiate and Drew McIntyre appeared to have gotten what he wanted, Cody Rhodes showed up on Drew's CCTV. And then Drew gets mad. Sabi niya kay Nick Aldis, you bring him to my home? This is where my family sleeps. And then a brawl ensues. Cops are involved. One cop gets thrown into the water. And we get the very iconic replacement for Yippee-Ki-Yay motherfucker in Merry Christmas, asshole.
Cody just committed a felony.
I mean, Drew did too, so I guess
This is a fucking felony.
there's trespassing. Drew
Oh, di ba?
Drew can actually file a charge for trespassing.
Mas natawa ako sa segment na to than take it seriously because of the ridiculousness of the whole situation. May tanong si Jasper sa chat natin. How is Cody still a face? Which I'm also asking why is... Kasi siya yung nanunugod eh. The last 2 weeks, di ba? Like, Drew was minding his own business and then Cody...
Drew was not minding his own business.
I mean,
Remember that he
kinakausap niya si
invaded
Aldis.
Cody's tour bus first.
Oh, yeah. But
What
nakabawi na siya
are
ng
we
War
talking
Games
about?
eh.
He started this shit.
For me, nakabawi na siya ng War Games. Yun. That's why I'm still
Yeah, Jasper's right. He technically was also involved in the Obafemi match.
Oh,
So
yeah, oo nga pala.
Drew is not innocent in this, Emil.
Yeah, alam ko naman.
No, my issue with this whole segment was that it was a very pro wrestling segment. Like, definitely stuff that you would see backstage on a SmackDown episode, but it was filmed with all the seriousness of an Oscar bait movie. Like, they brought out the super serious film camera for this. They color graded it to be dark and gritty, like an episode of Bel Air or Riverdale. It's all pro wrestling silliness and hokiness. Kasi And Nick Aldis was trying his best to act his ass off in this really super serious segment, pero the writing was just super fucking silly. Like it was unintentionally hilarious kasi yun nga, Cody is fucking campy in all of this. And they don't even do a super serious, a super gritty, violent fight scene, diba? They're held back. So it's like they're trying to be the Netflix Daredevil, except it's not. So yun lang sobrang nakakatawa siya. To me, it landed differently because I can see what they were trying to do with the way it was shot, but it at its core, it was still a very dumb, over the top wrestling skit. You know?
Kumbaga, they could have choreographed the fight scene look more like realistic, like what you would see.
No, it's not the fight scene, Emil. It's the whole story of the segment of the skit. The first, okay sana if it ended at Drew and Nick Aldis negotiating, kasi that was fine. And then fucking Cody shows up. How does Cody even know that Aldis was there? How does he know that Aldis was there negotiating with Drew?
Nakabunto siya.
At this
Yeah, so
exact
nagkaroon ng
moment,
point si Drew. Nagkaroon ng point si Drew when he said, "You're setting me up." Di ba sabi? You're setting me up. Aldis Hotel. Parang, so yeah.
Tama. Like, how did Cody arrive at that exact hour on this exact day that Nick Aldis has a camera crew and security trying
Kasi
to get...
very self-aware si Aldis, di ba? Like, he actually said na, I brought the camera crew here para on record tong ginagawa natin. So that kind of justified the presence of the camera crew sa bahay.
It was very The Office, by the way. So, your explanation, but yeah, it also again defies a lot of logic here. Like the whole Adam Pearce situation. So it was just funny. I wouldn't be so anal about this if they didn't shoot it with a nice camera. You know what I mean?
And let me ask you this. And people in the chat, if you want to chime in, you can also put it in the comment section. Are home invasions such a pro wrestling thing?
Oh.
I mean, like, it happens sa mga teleserye, di ba? Like, somebody shows up dun sa pangmayamang bahay.
They've been doing it since TV in the 90s.
Yeah,
Brian Pillman's got a gun.
I know. Yun nga, kaya ako nga tinatanong. Kasi parang, while I've seen it in teleseries, is it just me kasi I watch teleseries? Like, if you didn't watch teleseries, would you think to yourself na, a home invasion, that's so pro wrestling?
At this point, yes. Especially for the person, like, really personal feuds, di ba? Yung mga recent ones. Yung nanunog si Hangman ng bahay, di ba? When Samoa Joe went to AJ Styles' house. So it's those things, like it's an indication na what you're seeing is a personal blood feud.
Yeah.
So yun yung sa akin, parang indicator sa akin na okay, this is a blood feud. When someone
So blood feud coded siya pag may home invasion.
Yes.
Daming natutunan ni Emil Nate sa writer's room. But yeah, he's right. Yeah, it is the escalation kasi to private property, to personal lives, diba? That's why it's such a trope in pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on the home invasion before we take another Emil Nate dance break?
Also, no. I want to say, when is this feud gonna end as well? Then,
I guess when Drew wins, like, diba? Like at this point.
Do you really see Drew winning the title here? Because I don't.
I know.
Pero yun din. I thought tapos na to nung They had the match nung, I think that was a Saturday night's main event. I thought that was it. But then it keeps, it extended. And now we are at the end of the year and they're still feuding. They feuded after SummerSlam. So mga tagal-tagal na rin. So, yun na naman. I just question when are they gonna culminate this. And I guess, malapit na. Nag-home invasion na eh.
Di ka sure dyan. Sige, before we take a break, let's say hi to Chana, who's in the chat. Good seeing you last Sunday, Chana. Oh, nasa front row yan.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yung viewing party natin.
Hell yeah.
Let's take another Emil Nate dance break, and then we'll get to the fun stuff from NXT.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London, and you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
All right, we have a lot to talk about din sa NXT, and we got to start with the new Women's North American Champion, Thea Hail,
Oh,
who
boy.
defeated Blake Monroe in a result that was very, very shocking to everybody. Everybody, basically. So, yun, what do you guys make of everything that happened? Let's start with you, Ro, because you have the better eye for these types of things.
No, let us explain what happened first, because some
Sige.
people still don't know what happened exactly. So, Thea Hale did a middle
Senton.
rope senton, diba, to Blake Monroe, and in the impact, Blake doesn't get her shoulder up enough for the referee to see, and the referee again is told or is instructed as a larger directive to count the pins as shoots, diba? So even though he knew that it wasn't the finish, he counted the three because that's what referees are supposed to do.
Yep.
And because people gave referee shit when they can see that a ref deliberately stopped the count because it wasn't the finish kahit na hindi nag-kick out yung kalaban. Like we saw this last time a few months ago with Nia Jax, and people gave Nia Jax and the referee shit for that spot. So that's what happened here. It wasn't planned. I think you all have seen now the reports that are saying that it wasn't planned. But if you just talk to me, if you just asked me, I could have told you that it wasn't planned. Because for one, they played Blake's music first before switching to Thea Hales. Because syempre, naka-ready yung naka-ready yung music ni Blake. And there was a delay in processing the whole thing. There was like a couple of seconds before they were told to give Thea the championship and to have Mike Rome announce the winner. So that's how you know that it wasn't planned. Although you could argue that now that this has happened, if they choose to do this artificially, they can take everything that happened here and simulate it, in a future incident. Na work naman. Diba? So that's what happened. Naturally, again, if you complained about that Nia Jax spot, which I saw a lot of people did. A lot of people did because you all were saying you exposed the business. Why'd you get your shoulder up? Diba? This is the natural consequence to this is the natural logical end to what you wanted to see happen in that Nia Jax match. Diba? If Nia didn't get her shoulder up, the referee should have counted 3, and that's what happened here. The only difference was that it was a legit championship match, so therefore the championship had to change hands. Okay. So the question here now, and I got asked this yesterday. It was a really good question. Was it much better to do the Nia Jax route, which is to stop the count kasi alam mong hindi yun yung finish? And personally, because I also saw that, and I think Stan can corroborate then without having to divulge details, there were a lot of plans already set in stone for Thea Hale, for Blake Monroe, following this week's episode. Because syempre, it's the Christmas break, and they had to tape a lot of stuff in advance before everyone goes out for the holidays. So because they shot, or they treated the whole thing as a shoot, now Emil has to work overtime. Everyone has to work overtime. And
Emil more than most.
And adjust the next few weeks and possibly even months of NXT booking just because Thea Hale inadvertently won the championship in front of everyone on TV by accident. Diba? So, kung ganun din lang, and I was in the same spot. I have had one match where I stopped the count because I knew it wasn't the finish. I was working as a referee. So, kung ako papipiliin nyo, I would have much rather exposed the business and stop the count. Kasi you ruin the short term to protect the long term. You know what I mean? I would much rather ruin the short term. Everyone knows it's fake anyway. Like I would much rather take the heat for exposing the business, how it's predetermined, than to ruin months and weeks of meticulously laid out plans in creative.
But at the same time, I
Shut
feel
up.
like people. No, at the same time, people shouldn't shit on the ref for what happened.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Kasi that's his job. Like they are told na
Yes.
if the wrestler forgets to kick out, still do the count.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
go
Here's
ahead.
the thing about that. on paper, it sounds nice because you're protecting the business, diba? We're making it look real here, diba? We're not giving away the secrets, but everyone knows the secret, man. Like everyone knows it's a story. Everyone knows somebody has to win so that the story goes a certain way. You know what I mean? In theory, it's nice to think about protecting the business, but there are very real things, very concrete consequences and implications that will happen if you don't protect what is supposed to happen in the story. You know what I mean? Now you know. Now everyone knows the consequences of the shoot, if you know what I mean. Diba? That's why real sports wishes sometimes it was scripted. It was for the business, diba? It's for the business talaga. You know?
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate what happened. Naalala ko yung when AJ Styles and Kevin Owens were feuding over the United States Championship, and then I think it was AJ who inadvertently won, right? So I think the difference nun is, based on the reports, yung nga, Christmas break eh. So ang dami nang inayos beforehand. So baka may naun siya may. Whereas when AJ and Kevin Owens were doing their thing over the US title, it was in the middle of the year. You know what I mean? Like, if you had to change plans on the fly, magagawa mo the very next show, the very next week or whatever. Right? So, really just unfortunate for everybody involved.
Iba rin yung situation here. Iba rin yung scenario eh. So, okay sana if it was a regular season episode, right? But it's not. It's the episode before Christmas. Diba? Kataon lang talaga na everyone's packed up and everyone has the show for next week, and then the week after that was already in the can, or partly in the can, diba? But it wasn't. So again, Emil has to work overtime. The wrestlers have to work overtime.
Yung sinabi mo, diba, Emil, kailangan niya mag-overtime?
Nagkaroon pa sila ng trabaho. Yes, I agree with everything Rose said. Na kung papipiliin whether or not to for the ref to stop the count kasi he knows it's not the finish, I would have chosen it as well kasi may mga plans na yung mahirap dun, and again, but
we can diba?
It's just an unfortunate incident all around, and we shouldn't be hard on anyone in this situation.
Yeah, I agree.
It just these things happen, like super rare, but they still do happen, guys. Mistakes do happen.
I have seen online assholes blame the ref, blame Thea, blame Blake. You can point to anyone for a mistake, but it was an accident. Like, diba? No, obviously Blake didn't want to ruin any plans. Obviously, Thea wasn't going into business for herself, diba? Like, it's not like Thea deliberately sabotaged Blake by leaving her unable to get the shoulder up, diba? By somehow injuring her. Siyempre, like, kala nyo kaya nyo gawin yung ginagawa nila eh. Like, Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, guys. That's who I'm really mad at. Because a lot of people throwing shade and calling the women, calling the ref unqualified when people don't even train for this the same way they do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Hindi lang don't even train for this, but you don't do this on a regular basis. So the fact that these guys make a mistake and then it's such a big talking point is because you expect perfection. And I get it, diba? This is the highest level of the sport. That being said, tao lang din diba? Yeah. I think this is one of those situations na medyo acceptable marinig yung, sorry na, tao lang.
Tao lang.
Oh, yeah.
Like in other instances, nakakaburat siyang pakinggan yung tao lang. Pero in this case, I think acceptable naman. Tao lang, sorry naman. Diba?
And well, for the most part, naman, I think after the whole shock of the moment kind of washed away, people did like how Thea became champion for the first time, diba? So at least there's that,
Yeah.
So,
and Thea really was convincing, diba? Parang holy shit! Diba? Parang it was very much on brand.
She did the whole victory lap.
Yun nga, kaya nga very on brand. Nag-iisip pa rin siya is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
She did a victory lap.
That was hilarious. So yeah, I like that for her. Kulang na lang si Andre Chase lumabas, diba? But yeah, it's not like he would have known.
I'm
All
sure
right.
they'll do something with Andre Chase like in the next couple of episodes.
Tinan mo, Emil, pati si Andre Chase papapasukin mo ng Pasko. Lang yan. Wala ng Christmas break in Chase you, gago.
Hindi na nakapag-sem break eh.
Oh, kawawa naman si na Uriah tsaka Kale. All right, we have another TNA star crossing the line, and it's Moose, who's back in NXT, and he declared his intent to go after the North American Championship. So we're gonna get Moose versus Ethan Page at the NXT Year-End Awards show at the end of the year.
Very TNA matchup. Ethan Page versus
Super TNA.
I like how they did this segment. Di ba nagbabangay nung una si Stax saka si Ethan Page, di ba?
Yeah.
And then Moose came
Over
out.
Tony D. Mhm.
Then Moose came out and Ethan thinking na okay, he was gonna go after yung title ni Stax. Tapos papalis na si Ethan. Tapos parang sinabi agad ni Moose na, oh, I'm going after the North American Championship.
Ay.
That was a nice segment. I did like that.
It was also kind of dumb. They need to explain this because Moose Stax was the champion who stole the title from TNA. Ethan Page is minding his own business as a champion of NXT with an NXT Championship and AAA. Moose goes after the NXT Championship, the championship from NXT, and not the championship that Stax stole from TNA.
No, kasi nga, parang tit for tat.
No,
You stole
did
a
he say
title
that?
from TNA.
He didn't
You
say
stole a
that.
title.
He didn't say that, though.
Really? That's what I.
Yeah,
I
I
interpreted it
understand.
as.
I understand. But
Oh.
in the moment, again, you're I know sometimes you should just put things together. But in the moment, there is a pressing need because there is a war. There's a legit war going on between NXT and TNA pa rin. So the story in TNA was Stax stole the international championship with Nexus King. So if you're not attending to that, you need to explain why you're not attending to that. You know what I mean?
Fair.
And
That's
he
fair.
had, that's why MJF naman said everything he had to say kanina.
In 25 minutes. Pili ka, overtime ni MJF o yung sakto lang ni Moose? Pero kulang-kulang.
Yun.
MJF makes it entertaining at least.
Ay.
No, it's not egregious, I guess, because it's just the North American Championship. But still, it's funny kasi nagmukhang tanga si Moose at that moment.
All right. Ito naman, we got Ricky Saints explaining why he turned on Javon Evans. And mahaba rin yung segment ni Ricky Saints. We haven't really heard him deliver a long monologue like that in quite a while. But during that promo, sinabi niya na the core reason why he turned on Javon is because Javon is young. He will be the future for a very long time, while also implying that he's not as young and therefore does not have as much time. And behind the scenes, Ricky Saints is our age, bro. He's 35.
Yeah,
So to that point, medyo justified si Ricky. Diba? Javon is 21. Everyone keeps saying it ad nauseum. So what did you make of yung explanation niya na parang, pucha, ba't ka jump the line? Ako muna. I'm running out of time.
Seniority.
He was being Alexander Hamilton.
I know
There you go.
a few weeks ago I said na parang kinwestiyon ko, why does everyone need a heel turn? I got my answer with that Ricky Saints promo. This is the first time na I paid attention to Ricky Saints promo in NXT. He brought what he had in AEW before and gave it all in this promo. So now I understand now why someone like Ricky Saints need that edge, need that heel turn to spark something. And okay, all right, I get it now.
Typical heel turn promo, like maybe face the heel. It's nothing new, honestly, which is okay. It's one of those things. Okay, you come in to NXT as a heralded indie star or non-WWE star. You get the babyface pop because you are well known in other places, and then you turn heel because you're old, and the younger guys are getting on your nerves. But typical stuff. I just didn't like how Ricky felt like he was trying to fight the crowd the whole time he was cutting the promo. it felt super awkward because parang okay, pinipilit na talaga eh. He wasn't mastering the crowd there, which is weird because I've seen him do that in AEW. Like I've seen him take control of the crowd in AEW.
Yeah.
So yun lang, it kind of felt off. I hope that it gets better from here. I hope it gets better writing. But to me, it's your typical indie slash other company to AEW to NXT pipeline na heel ka. like Joe did this. So it's nothing new to me, and I would like to see how Ricky makes it his own and makes it fresh.
All right. And last highlight from NXT at the very end of the show, Leon Slater is the new number one contender. Kasi nga, di ba, minadali ni Javon Evans yung NXT Championship match niya. So Oba Femi needs an opponent at New Year's Evil, and that opponent is good old Leon Slater, who is the X Division champion, still a TNA star, and is now seemingly going the Jacob Cortez, Joe Henry route.
Grabe manligaw si Bossing Sean. Diba? Like, grabe.
Yeah, this is a lateral move na.
I mean,
at this point.
Joe Henry did get this treatment then. Like,
Yes,
at this point.
Diba? He got the NXT Championship
Yeah,
match.
yeah.
Against Ethan Page.
Yeah,
I remember.
So at this point, alam na, if a TNA star gets an NXT title shot, they're trying to sign him up.
Cool cub yun.
Pinopoach na lang pinopoach na lang NXT. Sobrang halata na kasi they have him wrestle on Saturday night's main event. Diba?
Yeah.
In John Cena's last match. So, that's an indicator right there that they really like this guy. And
Grabe lang, I actually didn't have that on my bingo card na they would be very high on Leon Slater. Like out of everybody from TNA na may encounter natin on NXT programming, I didn't see that it would be Leon Slater who would be like next in line kina Jordan and Joe Henry.
I mean, honestly, in his first appearance in NXT, parang alam ko na okay, this is a guy that...
Syempre, writer's room kaya naman yun.
You know, like, he showcased his talents in his early appearances na I figured out, okay, this is a guy that they like, and he's young. He's like 20, same age as Javon, diba?
Yep.
21. Diba? So, he fits in right in the NXT portfolio of getting young stars.
Edo, I want to get your take on this from yung mga perspective nyo. Is it because Leon Slater kind of helps with the image that NXT is putting forward? Kasi diba, it's the more paano ba? Mas
Urban.
Let's not use that word kasi but NXT is more hip to like the black community, diba? And it's also younger. It's like it's the fresher brand, diba? So parang is it because of that it makes sense na Leon Slater is kind of in line with what they want?
No, it's not because of that. Kasi Joe Henry is white. He's over. They want to scout yung talents na overlook nila. And if they see them flourishing in a place that now they have access to, like TNA, talagang kukunin nila. They're doing the same with Mr. Iguana.
Yeah.
Diba? It has nothing to do with your demographic. It literally has everything to do with your clout. So now they just really confirm the pipeline to NXT. Now, if you are over in your respective allied associated company, associated promotion, there's a big chance that WWE will call you up to NXT and then the main roster.
Which I think is actually really promising. Now that you think about it, diba? Kasi parang dumami lalo yung pathways to get to WWE. I don't know. That's how I would read into it. Because before it was really just make a name for yourself on the indies and then pray to God that you get discovered at a tryout and then get that opportunity. Whereas now it's not just that. You can go the WWE ID route. You can be affiliated with TNA or AAA and then find your way onto NXT regularly and then God knows whatever route you take from there.
Oh. TNA to NXT is like NCAA to UAAP at this point. If you shine, you will have a chance to move on to the big time. Parang ganun eh.
Sige, clip natin to para magalit lahat ng mga college sports people kay Emil Nate.
Well, that's my opinion. I'm sorry.
What kind of sorry?
You know, if it might offend a few people out there.
All right. Anything else from NXT na miss out natin?
Yeah, that's those are the big stories. I mean, the biggest story was really Thea.
Right.
Exactly.
All right, so let's wind down here and let the people know if there's anything we can expect from any of us over the Christmas break
Oy.
other than us getting fat.
May one last live stream. Sa
Oh, that's right. Robin Saints Merry Christmas
Ayun.
live stream.
Noche Buena. Sunday
Oo.
night, 7 p.m., the 21st of December. Bago kayo bago kayo
Magpataba.
magsimbang gabi. Hindi, bago kayo magsimbang gabi.
Right. Di
Noche-
naman trademark yung Noche Buena na word eh. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not. Oh, hindi nga.
No, but before you go to your simbang gabi, manood muna kayo na live stream. 21st. 21st to.
Are you working the show?
I should be, but I don't know. I will find out soon.
Okay.
Yeah. I was told that the people will decide matches. I don't know how that works. I don't know if we're doing some Taboo Tuesday shit. or
Cyber
In the
City,
hands
yeah.
of the fans.
Pero bahala na. Basta nood kayo, it's better than being outside in holiday Carmageddon.
Yeah. I will unfortunately not be there because I will be doing some pre-recordings. Alam na. Ikaw, Emil, what do you have going on?
Wala naman. Wala akong ganap this Christmas.
Umuwi ka kasi. Sino talo ngayon?
Eh, but at least I avoid the Carmageddon. Walang traffic dito eh. But yeah, just
Yeah, but you're
you know,
lonely and shit.
well, that's
May miss namin si Emil Nate. Yung patrons pala namin kasi we're going to be having KTV night with them next week. We're not going to tell you when and where, but we're going to be having KTV night with them. And young Emil Nate here will not be part of the festivities. So hindi namin marinig yung rendition niya ng Be My Lady.
Oo.
Mamimiss namin yun.
Ayan. But just, follow the pod on all social media platforms. Sinabakan yung mga year-end specials namin, like the year-end awards.
Yeah.
We're gonna put that out
That's
soon.
right.
That's coming out very soon. Yes, yes. All right. At Wrestling Podcast or at Wrestling 2X Pod. Just search for them on social media. Hit the subscribe button or the follow button for the podcast. Individually, it's at Roas War, at EML_Meister, at Chino Supersized, and at _Stancy. Thank you to Babyface producer Jasper, and thanks everyone for catching our seemingly last live stream of the year. For Romoran and Emil Nate, I'm Stan C. Telling you all to stay safe, stay dry, and Merry Christmas, asshole.
Peace.
Merry Christmas, guys.